Welcome, welcome everybody. Today is a very cold day in the neighborhood. How you doing back there, Johnny?
Oh, I'm pretty warm. I got coffee here.
Oh,
Got a fleece jacket. Well, sweat. Sweat. One of those hoodies, sweat jackets.
I'm pretty cold. My head is cold. I think my brain's getting a little frostbitten.
Yeah, we should look around and get you some nice little hats.
Yeah, that look like wigs or something, huh?
Right. Yeah, it's something. If not made out of yarn though.
Oh my goodness. So, anyways, today we're welcoming our good friend Mr. Danny Paul back. This is visit number 2. Welcome, Danny.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you.
Danny is a country music star, and I never knew I was in this kind of royalty till he was on the first time. We even got autograph pictures and stuff like that.
Well, you know what? In fact, I was kind of impressed when I walked in. I saw all the dart holes in the pictures. I said I knew I was right at home. Now I know what you've been doing in your spare
John,
time,
you forgot
Lisa.
to take those down.
The evidence speaks for itself.
Oh my goodness!
Notice.
You forgot to take those down. We weren't supposed to let him see that.
You know what? I think I'm going to blame Johnny in the back.
Yeah.
For that. Johnny, you forgot.
It was Lisa's idea to throw darts at.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
It was one
right.
of those special moments.
Right. We were having a moment. We were just playing darts,
Okay.
But anyways, now since you were here last, tell me what you've been doing in the field of country music.
Well, actually, I've been doing quite a bit of shows. I've done a lot of traveling. Of course, you know what? I try to work as cheap as I can and try to work as often as I can, Lisa. I do a lot of retirement communities, assisted living properties. I've done some work with a gentleman who wrote the classic song "Woman, Woman" that Gary Puckett and the Union Gap recorded.
I know that song.
Jim Glaser was the writer of that, and I have worked a show or two with Jim Glaser, and since we've last visited, and then I also did some work with Jimmy Fortune, who was with the Statler Brothers. And then I'm really excited, and a little bit later in the program, we're going to feature an artist by the name of Bobby G. Rice that recorded in Nashville. And Bobby just recorded a brand new album down in Texas this past winter. And I think there's a good possibility. Bobby phoned me this past week, and we discussed about maybe doing some work together. He's got a great voice. He recorded a song back in the early 70s called "You Lay So Easy on My Mind." And I know you said, Lisa, you recalled that song. That song was a big hit for Bobby G. Rice, and many artists recorded that. But
I wonder where do country people, country music people, what's the right term? I don't know. But anyway.
Country bumpkins.
I almost repeated that.
In my book, I say country bumpkins.
No, that's not right.
Bless your heart.
You know what I'm saying? Where do you get the inspiration? Because some of the song titles, people say stuff like, they lose their dog, their cat, their house, their woman, stuff like that.
You know what? Like anything, I think, motivations vary from individual to individual. However, my personal likeness for country music, Lisa, is generally speaking, it relates to practical everyday living. I could mention some other songs that are just equally crazy. The song that one of the rock performers did several years ago called "My Love Is Like a Tire Iron." Now I don't know how inspirational. Yeah, how do you describe love as being a tire iron?
Yeah, what kind of inspiration did you get from that tire iron?
Exactly. I'd hate to see the person that inspired that song.
Oh man, they have to be bad.
I tell you what, it's tough. And I'd spell that Tuff. Lisa.
Right.
But there are some songs. This is true. We've had a lot of novelties and that kind of thing within country music. But then again, we've also had, some real positive, heartfelt songs. Mm-hmm. And not all country music is sad. When someone tells me that it's always a sad story, I challenge them and tell them, no, let me give you a couple examples of where, no, these songs are not sad. They're, in fact, very happy and they're positive. Mm-hmm. So, but, I think everyone has their own different inspirations and motivations behind the song, Lisa.
Yeah, because I like some country music. I mean, I can't name an awful lot of stars, but I do like Dolly Parton, and I loved it when she sang with Michael McDonald.
Yes,
I
yes,
mean,
yes.
you know, stuff like that, but some
Yes.
of it is just like, say, Buck Owens and all, you know.
Yes.
Those songs make no sense to me.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You know what? As long as you name me as being your favorite male country artist, Lisa, I love you, and you're one of my own. Do you reckon you can live with that?
That's right. That's right. I forgot Mr. Daddy Paul.
That's right.
I forgot I heard his music.
That's like I'm saying, what am I, chopped liver sitting here beside you?
Well, you know, I had seen a lot of comments about the Teddy Bear song that we had played on the
Yes,
first
yes.
one. And some people had commented, I think, on Facebook about they had heard that song and from way back somebody
Yes,
else or whatever.
yes, yes.
Well, I had never heard of it, so I guess that was a good little piece to play.
Well, you know what? I will tell you this. The young lady that recorded that song, actually, it was a young lady by the name of Barbara Fairchild that did that song back in the early 70s. However, I've done it for many, many years, too. And in fact, I've had different artists, a couple of them, in fact, George Hamilton IV, who recorded the song Abilene, the classic Abilene, and Break My Mind. He and his son, I worked on a show with him a couple of years ago up to the north, and when I worked with, I think that was up in Saginaw, he and the boy told me, the fifth, he said, you know, Danny, he said, I've heard that song many times, but he said, I've never heard it done by a male. He said, but you do a really good job on it. That was nice. So I appreciate that, but I've done that song for an awful long time, and I usually give away a teddy bear every time I do that song. So I placed a lot of teddy bears in hopefully loving environments over the years,
Right.
too.
Those teddy bears dead now.
Yeah. Now Barbara Fairchild does not give away teddy bears. I do. So that distinguishes her version versus mine. I give away a teddy bear when I do. I make mine personable, and I give it a big squeeze before it leaves home, and I ask the person, the recipient, if they'll give my teddy a lot of TLC and tender love and care, and they always have to agree and tell me yes before I let my teddy go.
Oh, isn't that special?
Yeah.
Now, you say you do a lot of seniors assisted living. I mean, are you doing a lot of them around Genesee County? Because I never see anything posted or anything about you doing anything here.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really do an awful lot in the local area. I tend to work a lot in the Detroit, Saginaw, Lansing area.
So what's wrong with the people here?
Well, actually, I don't know. I think it's just me. I don't know. However, I am going to be playing something. I'll mention this to you. If you're not doing anything on the 15th of April, you come over to Court Street Village on Court Street.
Okay, I know where that is.
At 2 o'clock on that's the day after Valentine's, I guess.
That's on a Monday, yeah.
April 4th. I'm sorry, 15th, February 15th. I'm
Oh.
saying April. You know what?
I guess.
You know what? I better get my dates and my calendar right. Now,
For
Lisa,
real.
this is what happens every time I come. Folks,
15th is a Friday.
it's on a Friday, yes. Let's make a hot date of it on the 15th of February at 2 o'clock. I want to have you come and see me so I can sing you a love song.
Oh, do I get a teddy bear?
You just might get a teddy bear. And if any of the listeners like to as well, it's Friday, February the 15th at 2 o'clock,
2 o'clock
at Court Street Village. On Court Street.
And Lapeer.
Yeah, it's right between Lapeer and Avon Street on Court Street. And we'll have a good time there. So that's February the 14th, Friday at 2 p.m. And so I do them occasionally. Occasionally I do the summer concerts downtown also for the Greater Flint Arts Council.
Oh, so
Every so often I work one of those for them. But I'm hoping this is a new year, a new beginning. And I'm hoping that my friend that I mentioned to you a moment ago, Bobby G. Rice, I'm hoping that we can get him up here from Nashville and maybe do some work also in the area. So this is a new year, a new beginning, Lisa, and I'm ready to work. So all of you listeners out there who have access to country music venues, book me. Book me.
book
Book me.
Dano.
Book me. Book me.
Dano.
Book me. There you go. I like that. You know, you're so knowledgeable. That was a segue for me to walk right in and have you say that.
Right. He planned that.
Yes, I did. It was all premeditated.
Oh my
Our
goodness.
sound man in the back is just thinking we're crazy, Lisa, but that's all right.
Well, he knows how I am. We used to work together, so he's one step ahead of you.
Well, that's why we had such a good time. In fact, I've got to share this with you. I had several folks tell me after our first show, they said that was great. We didn't realize Lisa was such a card, and you sounded like you were ready to be caged. And I said, Detroit opens the cage doors from 9 to 5 and lets me out Monday through Friday. So I just have to kind of sneak off when I can.
Oh my goodness! We got to get you more places to play in Genesee County,
Yes.
so that people around here will get to see it. Because I've never heard you sing or do anything here. So.
But I'll tell you what, once they do that, they won't ever want to go back. Once bitten, twice shy.
That was a song, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. You know what? My personal belief is this. I have a little saying that and I'll share this with the listeners. It simply is, I refer to it as the devil's prayer. Or if you want to come to hear some good country music or be entertained, it simply says this, Lisa. I ought to feel guilty. I ought to feel wrong. I'm only sorry that I've waited so long. I ought to feel guilty. Lord, I know that I should. But I can't feel guilty when it's sounding so good.
Oh, listen at him, John.
Now
Pop that up.
I'm a poet and didn't even know
it. I'm learning so much about you every time you come in here. Who knows what else I'm going to learn?
This is Country 101.
Country at its best on the Flaminpit Show.
Okay. It's hot. It's hot with
hot
the
up in
triple
here.
T, HOTT.
It's hot in here. So we're going to play, which song do you want to play? One of yours or your friends?
Well, you know what?
You got them all up, John?
I think John, our sound man has something. I don't know what he's doing.
I got the CD about ready to go. I can only do one CD at a time, so
Right.
I got the tracks written down. So you want to still go in that same order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which one we going to
Yeah.
do first? We're going to do one of his or his?
One of his.
His
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're going to do a song called The Crystal Chandeliers.
What?
Do you remember that?
No. What
Well,
kind of title is that? Is that the people or is that the title?
Well, listen to the message. The message of this story simply says that, you know what, don't judge a book by its cover. And if you find something true, to be true and authentic is a good thing. And I think that's the message that I get from this song. But it's called The Crystal Chandeliers.
Okay, so we're going to play the Crystal Chandeliers.
Yes, ma'am.
All the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your wall. The marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall. Will the timely crowd that has you laughing loud help you dry those tears? When the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers. I never did fit in too well with folks you knew. It was plain to see that the likes of me didn't fit with you. But you traded me for the gaiety of the well-to-do. And you turned away from the love I've offered you. All the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your wall. The marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall. Will the timely crowd that has you laughing loud help you dry those tears? When the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers. I see your picture in the news most every day. You're the chosen girl of the social world, so the stories say. But a paper smile only lasts a while, then it fades away. And you'll return someday to the love that I've offered you. All the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your wall. The marble statuettes are standing stately in the hall. Will the timely crowd that has you laughing loud help you dry those tears? When the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers. When the new wears off of your crystal chandeliers.
Okay. Now I know I did something right.
That made me want to get up and do the boxcar boogie.
Okay. Well, you know what? Now you could educate me on that.
I don't know. I just see people doing that dance with their fingers right there. I just thought it was like, woohoo!
well, you know, the important, again, the message of that particular song to me is simply that, don't be misled by fake and phoniness. In other words, if you have something true, go ahead and don't be misled by false impressions and or material possessions,
Right.
that type of thing.
Well,
So
I
guess
understood
that's
that too, because it was
draw
like,
to it.
just like you said, when the shininess wears off, then
Exactly.
what's underneath, if you can stand what's underneath, it's like when people come in, they're all made up, you got to take off your eyelashes, take off
Right.
your wig,
Exactly.
like, all that's gone, it's like, now what?
Right. You know what? When you get down to the bare essentials, do you still feel the same?
Right.
So that's the importance of that song, and that's why that was put on that CD.
That's why it should come correct from the beginning.
Yes.
More people should do that, because it is such a materialistic world. I mean, it's like everybody want to have the biggest, baddest, best, all this, and that's fine to a degree.
Yes. But you know what? But let me tell you something, Lisa. It all begins and ends with a heart. Heart is truly the meat of the matter. And, again, it's unfortunate that today's society is so relevant to the material possessions. How you impress someone is by the car you drive, the home you have, the clothes you wear, when really, in essence, it's not like that at all. And it shouldn't be like that. It should be, as you said, what's on the inside. Beauty stems from within.
I was looking at a show last night, and it was like a girls' forum, and they were talking about what attracted you to your husband or whatever. And the one girl says, well, it's not about money to me. And they ask him, like, what would be your perfect date? And the one girl says, I would actually cook for him, and we could talk and get to know each other like this. And the two other girls was like, yeah, you got to have your house right, your money right, your job right.
A prime
you
example
got to
of
have the standards up to here, because I'm
Right.
not taking nothing less. And cook, I'm not cooking, and I
Right.
thought, oh my goodness. They said, well, that don't make me a gold digger. And I said,
No.
well, it may not make you a gold digger, but,
But
a
pretty
lot
darn
of
close.
right,
Pretty
and a
darn
lot of
close.
guys will be running the other way, because if they start that and then they can't keep it up, then they're gonna lose that woman.
Exactly.
So I always say, don't start something you can't finish.
Yep, that's right.
And
You know
those
what?
standards to me are just out of the box, because you just, some people, and those people could be fake. They could be borrowing somebody's car.
Exactly.
and house sitting for somebody.
Yes. You know what? There are methods to madness, and if there's a will, there's a way, and I'm sure that kind of thing does actually exist.
Yeah, it does. It does. Especially like the people they were in Hollywood, and they're just naming off different people. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't know what to tell people when they're like that, because I think you lose a lot of yourself in the material things.
Yes, I think so. And again, Lisa, we both know that I believe also, of course, spiritually, that good things come to those who wait. And, again, I'd rather lose someone with honesty and lose someone to me being really who I am, as opposed to keeping someone for who I'm not.
Yeah, when they said, oh, you're not a real country singer?
Right. Well, you know what? They ain't seen my clothes. They ain't seen the coffee that I drink.
Right.
Because now, as you know, I think I told you this first time, whenever I go out on the road, I always carry a little stash with me, and it's called International Dairy Delight Southern Butter Pecan. and it tastes like butter pecan ice cream. But I emphasize Southern. The mark of a true country hillbilly is if you carry your own Southern butter pecan coffee creamer. And if you were to check my coat pocket out there, Lisa, I guarantee you'll find some Southern butter pecan in my coat
I
pocket.
never heard of that. It's a creamer.
It's a creamer, and after the show's over, let's have a cup of coffee, and I'll share some of my flavoring with you.
Well, I don't drink coffee, but it'd be funny that we'll put that in the picture
Okay, all right. Well,
to prove that
Okay.
you're a true Southern gentleman.
yes, ma'am. That is so good. In fact, if I don't have that, I won't drink coffee. I've had folks tell me many times, we knew it was you, Danny. And I said, well, how did you know that? They'll say, by your calling card, your Southern butter pecan coffee creamer. Yeah.
I never heard that. You heard that before, John?
I never heard that one. It's like usually it's like I actually people talk about grits. They'll ask somebody if they like sugar or salt on them. If
Yeah.
somebody says salt, then they know that's supposed to be a mark of a Southerner.
Well, I don't know because I don't eat grits. I never could stand the texture of grits. I'm an oatmeal person.
Now, yes, I must
That-
admit, now I don't do grits.
Yeah.
Give me oatmeal or cream of wheat.
I don't eat cream of wheat
I
either.
prefer cream of wheat. In fact, when I was a little boy, I used to refer to cream of wheat as cottage cheese.
No, there's no similar texture.
Well, I was young and
Right.
naive and didn't know any better, and I told my mama, Mama, can I have some more cottage cheese? And she said, Lord, where in the world did you get cottage cheese from? I said, that right there. She said, that ain't cottage cheese, that's cream of wheat.
And see, I like oatmeal because grits, it's the texture that, it's sort of like, you eat it and then days later you can still get the grit out your mouth. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it.
Well, you know what, Lisa, and I had high aspirations as a young man. I wanted to become a chef. I thought I had some good potential until I
Burnt the cream of wheat.
No, actually, no. When I went into the kitchen, I thought I was going to do a good thing. I was going to make some breakfast. And I went into the kitchen and I got out one of them slow cookers. Got one out. And my mammy got up and she said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm making breakfast. And she said, what are you making? I said, well, I thought I'd make us some pancakes. She said, you're going to make pancakes in a slow cooker? I said, well, isn't that how you do it? After she cursed me, threw me out of the kitchen, I swore I'd never go back. And that's why I sit here today as being a country bumpkin.
I've never heard of anybody making pancakes in a slow cooker.
That's why I reckon I turned to country music.
I think that'll do you better than slow cooked pancakes.
I think I might have a brighter future in country music.
I guess I'd never ask him to make pancakes.
No, so if I ever mention pancakes to you, homemade pancakes,
Run.
you better head for the hills,
Run.
Lisa. And John, you too.
And see, when I was a kid, my grandfather proved he couldn't cook. He started baking a cake, and we're sitting there. He said, "I just put this cake in before you came in, and watch it for me in the oven." We were there like 2 hours, and still it was bubbling. But I don't know what the hell he put in this cake, but
Well, you know what? Now I think that's the same cake recipe that I looked for too.
The 2-hour cake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
we left there. and We called him back about an hour, and when we got home, we said, he said, "Still in there." My mom said, "Dad, most cakes don't take 4 or 5 hours to bake."
Exactly.
Yeah, probably more like cement. You know?
So, John, we better play his friends before we run out of time.
Bobby, this song is a Bobby G. Rice song. As I say, Bobby recorded a song which was a #1 record on Billboard charts and was a big song for him, called You Lay So Easy on My Mind. And many other artists, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Andy Williams did this song.
Wow.
And really a nice fella, great fella, 36 top tens and a big smash with the You Lay So Easy on My Mind. But this song is a little song called Down in Texas, and this is off of his new album that he recorded last November, Down in Texas. And I'm hoping that we can bring Bobby G. Rice up in this area, and he and I can do some work and entertain all of the listeners country style.
He might have to call in my show one day.
Yes, absolutely. If he comes into this area, I'm going to introduce him to you, Lisa, in the Flaming Pit.
All right. So this is called what?
This is Down in Texas by Bobby G. Rice.
All right, then. Let's see what's happening down in Texas.
Let's go there.
I wanna go back to my Texas past. Those honky tonks and country music Oh, I sure miss that. Have a few long necks, raise a little head, just hang my hat where my heart's at down in Texas. Well, I can't help but wonder, why am I still here? Got friends in Austin, be so awesome to get by there. A special lady down in Brady, I still miss her every day. Can't take the Texas out of me. It's time to head that way. I wanna go back to my Texas past. Those honky-tonks and country music, oh, I sure miss that. Have a few long necks, raise a little head, just hang my hat where my heart's at down in Texas. I'm gonna bring my guitar and find a country band, play western swing and shuffles like we did back then. I wanna go back to my Texas past. Those honky-tonks and country music, oh, I sure miss that. I have a few long necks, raise a little head, just hang my hat where my heart's at down in Texas. I just hang my hat where my heart's at down in Texas.
Buddy.
Yeah. Now, if that doesn't make you want to kick your heels up, Lisa, I don't know what would.
That was a good little song. I
Yes, it
mean,
is.
I
Bobby
like the
G.
beat.
Rice, down in Texas.
I like the beat. I would actually probably dance to it.
All
I
right.
went to a event back in for Christmas, no, New Year's Eve, and they had the theme was country. We should have
Okay.
had something like that because
Sure.
it was a nice little event. We had this guy that was calling out the dance moves and stuff. Oh my
Okay.
God. I don't ever want to do that again. I was just all over the place. I was tired. I was like, how do people keep up?
That's some more. Well, that particular style of music is a Texas shuffle type of music, and folks in Texas, they love their country music, and when they go to those Texas dance halls, they really cut up a rug. But that song is the first recording project that he's done in quite a while. But as you mentioned, it's a great song, got a great beat, and I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, I don't know anybody who wouldn't listen to that and want to get out there and move around
Do
and
something.
do something and dance to it. But that's Bobby G. Rice and down in Texas.
That was nice. I've never heard of him, but like I said, if you get back in contact with him, I'm gonna hear from him.
Yes, you will. In fact,
Tell it I said so.
in fact, Bobby has assured me that he's ready and willing and wanting to work. So if we're fortunate enough to have Bobby come into this area, Lisa, surely I'll introduce him to you and he'll come on and share his story and music with you and your listeners. I'm
That
sure.
would be great.
Okay.
We'd be a country music star up in here, Johnny.
Yes, sir. Absolutely,
And the irony of it
ma'am.
is it's like you're from the South originally and you got out of there and now you're like but did you ever listen to country music when you were living down
Yeah,
south?
that's why people we watched Hee Haw, we listened to
Oh, yes,
country
Hee Haw,
music. Yeah,
yes.
we did, but it's like we still listen to R&B and Christian music and that kind of thing because I lived with my grandmother, so we ran a gambit of music. We danced to everything. That's why I like so many different kinds of music now. I'm not stuck in one genre, and sometimes I'm playing a CD and it could be like I was just listening to Give Me Some Lovin', and I play it loud in the car and I pull up next to people and they're like, it's not all that bumping and thumping and stuff. It's like I like all kinds of music. So country is not out of the normal you might hear coming out of my car.
Okay. Well, you know what? I will tell you this, Lisa and John. Just because I do country music and country gospel music that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate good music and music of other genres. In fact, every summer I enjoy going down to DT, and when the weather's nice, going out and listening to a good concert. You know, one of the best concerts that I've been to down there was, and I think I've seen it once or twice, but the combination of the Four Tops and the Temptations. They put on a really, really good show.
Yeah, they were down there, I think, 2 summers
Yes,
ago.
but I missed them the last time. And but they put on a really, really good show. Of course, another one of my very, very favorite artists we just lost here within the last year was the Queen of Disco, that being, I'm
Donna
dating
Summer.
myself, Donna Summer.
Well, I'm older than you, and I used to party to her all the time.
What a great, great lady, and what a great talent Donna Summer was. Of course, the song that we played in the beginning was a song that the great Charlie Pride recorded, and Charlie Pride in country music is just great, legendary. You know, I could go on and on of the different artists. Another artist that I enjoy and I have a great deal of respect for is Prince. Very talented.
The purple one.
Yes, absolutely. What a great entertainer he is. So, you know, I could go from classic country music to a little bit of AC/DC, traditional, You Shook Me All Night Long, to Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, Patience, to classic country music, Roy Acuff and the Grand Ole Opry. And I've already mentioned to you about Four Tops, Motown, the Spinners. I'm a big fan of the Spinners.
Yeah.
The Spinners were a great, great group too.
I like all the Motown, and every time that show the Temptations come on, and they use like the biopic show of the Temptations. I love that show. I watch it every time. I've probably seen it 1,000 times, and it never gets old.
Now, what is your favorite? I want to ask you, what is your favorite Temptation song, Lisa? Let's see if we're on the same page.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I just like I like Glass House just because I like that beat, that you know, and then at the end how everything breaks.
Right, sure.
But you know, you can go back as far as like My Girl, and you know, in fact, the other day, just yesterday, I was listening to Psychedelic Shack.
Okay.
So I mean, I like a lot of Temptations. I don't think I have a favorite.
Well, now see, like I said, the songs you mentioned are good and great, and that. But mine, I do have a favorite. My favorite Temptation song is "I Wish It Would Rain."
I like that too,
Yes,
but
yes,
I just don't have a favorite. I think what happens with me is like when I hear music, I hear certain songs, you know, I like them, but I don't make them my favorite. But I do have some that I just play over and over and over in the car.
Yes.
And then, you know, like back in the 70s when me and my best friends, we used to hang out at the clubs all the time, it would be like 2 or 3 songs on the jukebox that we would play so much, the bartender would say, "I'm taking those songs off of there."
Oh, I've had a lot of folks say that. Is that the only song you know?
Is that the only one on the jukebox?
Yeah,
we put a handful of quarters in and we push that same song over and over and over, and we dance to it every single time.
You know what? I wish I had a nickel for every time I played or danced to the old song of the Gap Band called "You Dropped a Bomb on Me."
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
That
Lisa?
was just on the radio a few days ago.
Yes, you dropped a bomb on me.
I mean,
that's right.
a lot of those songs. Because I listen to Sirius. What is it? FXM, XM,
Sirius satellite radio.
Yeah, in my car.
Okay.
And so we got the oldies on 49, and then the Groove Me on 50. So between those 2 channels, they have all the old music. And I was listening to Bohannon the other day.
Okay.
And when I hear Bohannon, I mean, it's one of them long songs, and it's my God. When I pulled up and it came on, I couldn't get out the car. I was like, I got to listen. You know, I got to listen to this. And it just be jamming. I crank it up, and I'm sitting in the car, and I'm just going in front of the store, and they sitting there like, when I get inside, they're like, "Who was you listening to?"
You know what? I've got many songs that are similar like that. I just listen to them over and over.
Yeah.
A song that I have when I go online and I jump onto YouTube, the song that I listen to many, many times, almost every time I go on there, is the song that Mariah Carey, Celine Dion did. Taylor Dane also did a cover of it, and it's a song called "Send Me a Lover." What a beautiful song. Heavy lyrics, but Taylor Dane and Celine Dion both recorded the song. Great versions. And just, if you're ever on YouTube, listen to that. It's called Send Me a Lover.
Mariah Carey could have got on there and blown it out. She put them vocals to it.
Yes, oh yes. But you know what? I must say Celine Dion does an excellent job, as does Taylor Dane. But a great song.
Taylor Dane is kind of old now, isn't she?
You know what? I have, I'm very hesitant to use that term.
Well, we're all getting up there. I mean, you can't play. You can't play. My big numbers are coming up in July. I'm looking forward to it. I don't ever lie about my age.
Okay. Well, you know what? When someone asks me how old I am, you know what I tell them? I tell them that I'm old enough to know better, but still too young to care. That's the best way to refer to one's age, you know.
No.
And it has saved me many times, but it's got me into a lot of trouble many times.
It would be better if you just said your age.
I might utter it under my breath.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I want to stay as young as I can. You know, when someone compliments me and says that I look nice or whatever, I usually always tell them, "Well, thank you, but thank goodness for dim lights and darkness."
Oh my God! Don't turn on the lights.
Yes, it's like
don't go into the light.
Let's just make sure we're in the dim lit part of the club. You know?
Oh my goodness, that's too funny. Well, we're gonna play that last song that you requested, and it was one of yours. Tell me about it.
Well, actually, you know what? I mentioned to you before that I'm very spiritual and I believe in God and the power of prayer. And the first time we did the Teddy Bear song, and we opened the show with the Crystal Chandeliers. This particular song, this has always been one of my favorite hymns. As a young boy, when I'd go to church, they'd have sing-spirations, which are simply, you go and you sing all night, you don't have a message.
Right.
There were two songs that I always asked for. One was the song Fill My Cup, and the other is this song here, which is entitled Love Lifted Me. So...
And this is by Mr. Danny Paul.
Yeah, I reckon.
EP.
Hey, thank you. I hope you remember this song.
I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, sinking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry, and from the waters lifted me. Now safe am I. Love lift me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. All my heart to Him I give, ever to Him I cling. In His blessed presence live, ever His praise to sing. Love so mighty and so true merits my soul's best song. Faithful, loving service to Him belongs. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love love lifted me when nothing else could help. Love lifted me.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
I
you.
like that at the end.
I do too.
Now, were you playing the guitar?
That's an acoustic guitar, just an acoustic guitar.
I like the way that ended.
Yeah, it's kind of that was the appeal to me too. Of course, there was a little bit of bluegrass sound to that also too, a little different instruments, and that's why I thought we'd feature that today too.
Okay.
But I think the song's been around for a long, long time. It's always been one of my favorites, and thank you so much for that. I appreciate that.
Well, you're so welcome. So before we wrap up the show, you wanted to peg one of the events because, in case anyone doesn't know, Danny is also a referee with Pure Pro Wrestling. And so let's hit on that for a little bit before we wrap it up.
Yeah, actually, I've been a pro wrestling referee for probably the past 5 or 6 years, and I've done a lot of work with different organizations. But we do have a show date on March the 2nd. Bell time, I believe, is 7:00 p.m. You can go to the website Pure Pro Wrestling, which the website is prowrestlingatitsfinest.com. And that's going to be down at the Masonic Temple March the 2nd. And if you go to the website, I'm pretty sure bell time is 7:00 p.m. But go to the website, double check the details. We've had the pleasure numerous times of having Lisa be there and commentate for us and that type of things. But if you're looking for something to do on the 2nd of March, make sure you come out. It's a good show. A lot of great action, a lot of good entertainment. I've also kind of taken on another new role as well, as in addition to referee, and I've also become a ring announcer. I get to dress up for that, though, so that's kind of nice. I lose my zebra look, and I get to wear a suit coat and dress slacks, and so that's kind of nice. But I will tell you, they were talking about for a while, Lisa, about training me as a pro wrestler, and I said, well, I reckon that would work. I said, I've already got my gimmick. And they said, well, what is it, Danny? I said, well, what do you think? I said, I reckon it'd be very simple. And they said, well, how so? I said, naturally, I'll just sing my opponents into submission.
Because they will be like,
They will submit and capitulate in no time flat once I start singing.
You just put your foot in their chest and they 1, 2, 3, and it'd be over.
I tell them I get 2 requests. One's to shut up and the other's to sit down, and I don't follow directions. So you better just lay down or say I give.
Oh my goodness, that's a good one.
Thank you so much. I do thank you so much for an opportunity to come together and share some stories and some music and some time with you, Lisa, and John as well. And I always enjoy coming to the Flaminpit. It's always a great time, and I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get back again and share some more good stories with you and some more music and some latest happenings and all of that good stuff.
Well, I thank you so much for coming today. And so with that, we're going to wrap the show up. Next week, my guest is going to be Darwin Giles, and a lot of people know him from the Flint Urban Culture program, and he's going to be on next week. I know we're going to get into a whole bunch of political kind of gambit of something, because when he was here before, I was so impressed. I just sat back. I didn't even have to say 2 words. I just said welcome, and then he took it away.
Okay.
That's the kind of guest, when it's like that's like, come on, talk, just talk. I just want to say preach.
Yes.
Preach. So anyways, in saying that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and my guest, Mr. Danny Paul, for coming in on this cold day. And with saying that, this is Flaminpit, and we're out.